David and I can relate to the whole, Tampa Bay versus St. Pete thing, because I think both of us are board members on Balance Tampa Bay, and we struggle with that as well. Like when we have our social events, we typically alternate between St. Pete one month and then next month it's Tampa and so on and so forth. But we tend to have higher attendance in the St. Pete events versus the Tampa events, and that's been a real big challenge. Every once in a while we will have a Tampa event and it's well attended. I can think of a couple off the top of my head where we had them in Tampa and they were just really well attended for some reason or another. So it's interesting to hear what your perspective is in terms of trying to get the community together, because I do feel like there is a division between, those in the community that live in the Tampa side versus those in the community that live in the St. Pete side. And I told, this actually came up last episode when we were talking about pet peeves and people not wanting to cross the bridge, because that's one of my pet peeves, because I'll go over to St. Pete all day long. No problem. If there's an event I want to go to, I don't mind driving over the bridge, but getting people to come over to the Tampa side of the bridge is like pulling teeth sometimes.
Well, and here's where I find it really interesting, because I actually thought you lived in St. Pete.
No.
because I've seen you in St. Pete so often.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I mean, doesn't the Hollander have like a bench with your name on it?
Might.
The Paul Pfeiffer bench.
Yeah. No, I mean, so it's really, I mean, it's the challenge, and I'd be curious to find out from you if the venue made a difference for you in terms of the numbers.
I think that
because
has
sometimes
a lot,
it's a draw.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Like I can think of like the one that comes to my head right away. That was a Balance Social, and I'm not sure if you were on the board at that time, but we had one at Eddie V's, and that was really well attended.
Eddie V's, is that the one that is that a steakhouse?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was at that one.
Yeah. So we had one at Eddie V's.
That's where I first met you, actually.
Yeah, and that was really well attended.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the social media too. If you get out there and you really promote it on social media, it's going to draw a lot of people. Like for Balance, what I typically do is when we have an event, I'll just go down my list of friends and invite, because someone's going to come, right? But a lot of times if you just send out the event and don't actually invite people, they may not see it.
Yeah.
Because Facebook is kind of weird like that.
Yeah, and it's an interesting balance, because we use social media also. And we go through and then we do the invites or whatever. But I get a quicker response when I send out an email blast to our members. I mean, I can see the registrations come through, versus someone seeing it on social media and they may click that they're going, but they still have to go and register on the website for us to know how many people are coming.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a balancing act there. I had one idea that I don't know if we'd ever be able to do it now that the ferry is not going to be a thing, but is to have an event on that ferry that goes across from Tampa to St. Pete.
Yeah.
Started at Tampa or started in St. Pete. Get people to be there by a certain time, network, and then take the ferry over to St. Pete, where there would be more people waiting there that are part of the chamber to get on the boat there. They'll network there, and then get on the boat, bring the boat back to Tampa Bay, and everybody together.
I think that's a genius idea.
Well, the ferry unfortunately stopped in service April 30th.
Do
you know, Renee, why they're stopping the ferry service?
I think it's a financial thing.
Okay. The last ferry is April 30th.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's been in the news lately that ferry is not going to be.
But you know
anymore.
what? I bet you could probably just charter a boat. I don't know if it's cost, prohibitive or if it's something you could do. But
that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But that was kind of my idea of how we kind of bridge that.
Right.
So people don't have to actually go over the bridge.
Yeah.
So
I absolutely love that idea.
But anyway, we'll kind of keep that one on the shelf for at some point it becomes a little bit more doable in terms of the cost and whatever. So
we recently had an event, the Cool Vibes event, in St. Pete Beach, and we partnered with Project No Labels, and
I was there.
Yeah, I think we had an amazing turnout for that. I do think also that partnership synergy, when you've got more than maybe
one
or two organizations, that also can pull a lot of people out.